So Candy has to turn into the Incredible Hulk for it to be a decent episode? Come on. Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And this is my review on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 6, Rap Sheets and Old Beefs. So we start off the episode with flashbacks, and it's flashbacks of unseen footage from the show. And this is talking about the situation that Marlo keeps bringing up about Kandi. But what I saw in the scene is the total opposite of what Marlo keeps talking about. Kandi sat down with Marlo and actually listened to what she had to say. Even in her confessional, said that Marlo is truly a sweet person. She gives Marlo a hug to console her about her nephew. And even in her confessional says that she couldn't imagine if that happened to, a cousin or someone from her family because she's really close to her family, and almost tears up when she's talking about it. So, production, thank you, because this pretty much shows how much of a liar Marlo is. And then we get a scene with Marlo and her yes people, aka sheep, I call them. She's of course playing victim, lying about the Kandi situation, and they're just agreeing with her and kissing her ass. Let me tell you something. I do not like yes people. I don't like sheep. I don't like ass kissers. At the end of the day, I don't want those type of people around me. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. If I don't agree with you, that's fine. We can agree to disagree, learn from each other, whatever the case may be. But I don't want people who always agree with me around me. Because to me, you're not being genuine. You're just trying to get along to fit in, whatever the case may be. And clearly, these people in this scene with Marlo, that's exactly who they are. So, with that, next, that scene didn't really give us anything new. Next, we have Sonya, and we find out that her Mommy Nation is going to be on, I think she said belt.com, which I guess apparently is like a big thing. So, congratulations to Sonya. And then Sonya talks to her sister about how, she kind of apologizes that she may have offended her sister by telling her that she needs to eventually move out of the house, her and her family. And so while the sister is saying that she wants to leave, she's still throwing it up in Sonya's face that, she doesn't realize the type of freedom she has and the type of freedom that Ross has, where they can just up and leave when they want to because there's always family there to take care of their child. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can tell the sister's still bitter about the situation. Sometimes, instead of just keep verbally telling someone something, leave and let them figure it out on their own. And so, hopefully, she gets to that point and we don't keep hearing about her saying, well, if I leave, just know you're not going to have the same freedom. If I leave, who's going to take care of Deuce? Just leave. And then they can figure it out on their own. So, Sheree, and I actually love this scene because we rarely see these moments with Sheree. Sheree has an intimate, vulnerable moment about her son, and we see her like holding her gorgeous grandbaby. And she said that when she was raising her kids, she did it on her own, and how she was kind of nervous when her son said that he was about to be a father because she didn't think he was ready. But she is seeing that he is being a great father and a supportive father, and she tears up and she's just saying how proud she is of him. And I love these scenes with Sheree because we rarely see them. She is always the one stirring the pot, being another yes person when it comes to Marlo. But at the end of the day, this is the scenes that I love with Sheree, even with her drama with her ex-husband. When she got vulnerable and started crying with the stuff that he was talking about, the DV concerns and stuff. I love those scenes with Sheree because then it gives me the human side of her. So kudos on this scene. And again, that baby is absolutely adorable. So Drew has a scene with Ralph, and honey, the only two things that caught my eye in this scene is Ralph had peen surgery, the D surgery. What kind of surgery did he have? Inquiring minds want to know. Child, what kind of surgery? Yeah, and why do we need to know that? But yeah, if you're gonna tell us, I want to know what kind of surgery it was. You know what I'm saying? But then Drew says that in Chicago, they don't like to say the word shooting because of all of the crime and stuff that's happening in Chicago. My people from Chicago, can you please verify this? It doesn't ring true to me, and we clearly can see that Drew likes to be super extra. I mean, she is an actress. She likes to put 20 on 10. But can someone confirm that? Because it doesn't ring true. I just feel like she was BSing. But please let me know. So then next, well, the next scene I want to talk about, Kenya talks to Kandi about the Marlo drama and how Marlo is trying to turn people against Kandi. And she's been trying to do that for a while, as we can see. And child, on a personal experience, I've been there, I've done that. Low vibrational chicks, when they can't control you, they will try to change people's perspective of you. That's just how it is. And with all of the sheep that we have in this world, like honestly, it happens. It can get messy. One thing you have to do though is you have to stand tall, stand on your integrity and your morals, and the right people eventually will figure it out, or those other people will get the hell up out of your life. And honestly, I'm grateful for those lessons because it lets you know who's real and who's not. And you can also look for future signs in people like that in the future. You know what I mean? You have to sometimes go through that stuff so you can kind of recognize it when it happens again. And so for Kandi, she has always tried to get to know the other housewives or the friends of the show, even tries to help them. And it's a sad situation because I think at this point, I mean, I wouldn't blame her. I think she's going to start pulling back. I think she's going to start pulling back. And I mean, she has Kenya, she has Manetta, and she's going to leave it there. Like, if somebody new comes on, she's probably not going to be bothered. And why would she at this point? Every time she tries to help someone, they try to attack her. And Marlo is an example of that. Hell, if I'm not mistaken, Kandi and Todd was trying to get a show started for Marlo. They have tried to help her. I don't know what happened. Well, then again, I know what happened. Marlo's just a hater. And Marlo is one of those people where, like, for example, she got into it with Nene. Remember, she was all up Nene's ass, and Nene found out who she was, and Nene separated herself, and then she tried to play victim with that. That's who Marlo is. But anywho, I wouldn't blame Kandi if she decides to pull back at this point. So Kandi, after she gets off the phone with Kenya, speaks to Todd, and you can tell at this point she's fed up. So at the Courtney event, that's when the shit goes down. And Kandi confronts Marlo. And of course, Marlo doesn't want to talk about it in front of the group. She wants to pull Kandi to the side with Drew and talk about it. And so, like I said, we saw the past scenes. So at this point, everything that Marlo is saying does not make any damn sense. Okay. And so Kandi pretty much, she's a businesswoman. Like, do not put her business involved with, what I'm saying, Marlo's nephew's shooting or what happened to him. That's her issue. She's like, do not make it seem like that old lady gang or me had anything to do with that. And so with that, Kandi says, look, don't put it on me. Don't put it on my business. Your nephew stopped working for us months before he was unalived. And Marlo says, well, what does that say about your character? What? What do you mean? What does that say about your character? She's pretty much saying what happened to your nephew had nothing to do with me, nothing to do with my business. So keep my name out of it. And then Marlo continues to try to imply that the nephew met this roommate or this guy that he knew that unalived him at Old Lady Gang. And Candy's like, he didn't work for Old Lady Gang. He may have been a customer, but he didn't work for Old Lady Gang. And so this is what I'm talking about, how Marlo is a great example of how people purposely want to cause confusion and chaos to try to take you out of your character. And that's exactly what Marlo was doing. But at this point, I think all of us see who she really is. She's jealous, she's a hater, and I hate the word hater, but it just reeks on her. I don't care about the label she has, the makeup and everything else. She truly cannot stand Kandi because of her progress, and she really tries to hate on her any way she possibly can. So, but of course, when people try to cause chaos and confusion and all of that stuff, they all of a sudden want to retract and play victim like you're the problem, not them. So, with that, Kandi, tired of talking because you know she's emotional, she goes into that Incredible Hulk moment. That same moment we saw when it was Cynthia and her sister and Peter, and she goes into that mode. And luckily, Monyetta and Kenya was there, and they saw the signs, and we was like, "Oh no, let's go get our friend." Because at the end of the day, this is bad on Kandi, not bad on Marlo. Kandi has everything to lose. Marlo doesn't. Okay, so with that, while Kandi is going off, Marlo, like an immature scallywag, decides to taunt her, which is another example of an immature gutter snipe, and pretty much says, "Oh, are you crying, baby? Are you crying? Oh my gosh, why is she being so aggressive?" And of course, Candy's like, "I'm only crying because I can't choke the hell out of you." And you could tell with Kandi, like, enough was enough. And she had been taking a lot from Marlo. She had. She had been taking too much from Marlo. And at a certain point, when people keep poking at you, poking at you, and poking at you, eventually it's going to happen. You're gonna get tired of it, and game is over at that point. So Kenya and Monyetta get Kandi out of there. And interesting enough, Marlo says, "I wish he would have hit me. I would have fell on the floor." Yeah, that's what you want, Marlo. That's what you want. You want Kandi to get out of character so her rich ass can put hands on you so you can try to reap the benefits. Immature gutter snipe shit. Immature gutter snipe shit. She is purposely taunting her to get a reaction and hopefully a profitable reaction. I'm telling you, Kandi, you gonna have to learn. Don't let these heifers get you out of character. You have everything to lose. Everything to lose. They don't. Okay? So with that, Sheree, here we go. Monyetta and Kenya, of course, are out there as well as Drew with Kandi. Sheree is saying that Kandi has people around her that are pretty much like her sheep and kiss her ass. But I'm thinking, like, Sheree, what are you to Marlo? What are you to Marlo? In my opinion, everybody in this situation is too grown to be yes people, but the audacity for you to try to call them out for going out there with Kandi when you sitting up there every time Marlo does some ignorant ass shit that anybody in their right mind would know is wrong, from her knocking on Kenya's door that way to what she did literally that night with the eruption and Kandi going off. You never corrected her. All you doing is nodding your head, listening to everything she has to say. What are you then? Because it seems to me you like to kiss Marlo's ass too. So with that being said, the episode is over after that. Well, they end up playing, I guess, their little games, that the whole point of Courtney bringing them together in the first place. Marlo, Courtney, Sheree, and Sonya stay and they play the games, but that's the end of it. Look, here's the thing. I hate that this show gets interesting or there is some ratings involved or things get good when one of them, like a Kandi, has to truly get out of character in that way. It shouldn't be that this show is good only when somebody almost feels like they have to go there and create some type of violence or kick someone's ass. This show used to be good without that. Those type of scenes when someone did get that upset was just an extra bonus. But without it, the season was still good. In this situation, literally, this was the only part of this episode that made us say, okay, we getting a little pep in our step. And I don't like that. I don't like that. There's so many ways for us to be able to create healthy drama without it being that. Okay, so we shall see, you guys. We're halfway through, I think. I mean, it's episode 6. How many damn episodes is this? I hope it's not that long. But anywho, what do you guys think about this episode? At this point, I just don't know how they're going to save this franchise, Real Housewives of Atlanta, unless they truly mix it up and get some new, younger people on here. But we shall see. But let me know what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodaloo.